Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are looking at what I can only describe as an absolute masterclass in menu evolution today. We're going to explore how a completely simple, budget-friendly fast food concept adapted brilliantly over several decades to totally shifting consumer palates and some seriously fierce market competition. I mean, think about how intense the chicken sandwich wars have gotten recently, right? You've got these massive fast food empires battling for absolute supremacy. Understanding exactly how McDonald's navigated this battlefield is just a fascinating journey of culinary engineering, and we're going to see exactly how they pulled the whole thing off.
Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly does a basic budget staple survive in an industry that is completely obsessed with the next big thing, let alone transform into a premium, true restaurant-style competitor? Well, it doesn't just happen overnight, that's for sure. It requires closely watching what customers actually want, fighting off intense competition, and being fully willing to upgrade a classic, beloved formula.
So, here's our menu for today's journey. We'll trace this evolution in 3 acts. 1, the classic foundation. 2, adding the spice. And 3, the premium upgrade.
All right, let's kick things right off with part 1, the classic foundation, starting in the 1980s. To truly appreciate where we ended up, we kind of need to look at our chronological map here. We begin our story back in the 1980s with the original baseline. You know, the fast food landscape back then was radically different, way less complex, heavily dominated by burgers. Then, as years passed and our palates changed, we shift into the era of spicy additions. Finally, in recent years, pushed by intense industry rivalries, we arrive at the premium era. These aren't just random menu tweaks. They are very clear, strategic, evolutionary leaps over time.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how beautifully straightforward this original design actually is. The original McChicken, introduced back in the 80s, is one of McDonald's most recognizable items for a reason. Look at these components: a breaded chicken patty, shredded lettuce, mayonnaise, and a toasted bun. That is it. Just 4 simple elements working together in perfect harmony. No brioche, no artisanal aioli, just the basics.
The real core appeal of this classic foundation was its restraint. This was a straightforward, budget-friendly favorite without any extra toppings. Interestingly enough, it was initially intended to be this underdog alternative to the mighty Big Mac, giving you a completely different flavor profile at a really accessible price point. It perfectly satisfied the consumer need for a no-fuss option. It wasn't trying to be fancy, it was just trying to be a reliable, comforting bite, and wow, it succeeded on a massive global scale. But as we know, tastes change. The market never stands still, which brings us to Section 2, adding the spice and adapting to evolving customer demands.
Every good product evolution has a catalyst, and here it was the customer. Palates were shifting dramatically. Think about the broader cultural trends during this time: the meteoric rise of sriracha sauce, the globalization of flavors, the mainstream craving for much bolder experiences. People didn't just want comfort anymore. They demanded more flavor and a really noticeable kick of heat. A plain mayo chicken sandwich suddenly started to feel, well, a bit outdated. This shifting consumer demand presented a problem that required a very specific, highly flavorful solution.
So they introduced the spicy McChicken. When we compare these two, we're looking at a masterclass in iteration. The classic had that basic breaded patty with the familiar, mild taste we all know. But the spicy version? It kept the beloved shredded lettuce and mayonnaise, keeping that comforting McChicken vibe, but it's swapped in a seasoned patty with a way stronger flavor profile. We are talking about a real kick of heat here, actually blending black pepper and cayenne right into the breading to wake up the taste buds. And, this consumer demand for heat was so strong, it spawned massive regional hits. Enter the hot and spicy McChicken. This was a regional U.S. variation using a thinner, seriously spicy coated patty, still served up with that signature lettuce and mayonnaise. What's incredible here is the grassroots power of the customer. For years, this was only available in selected markets. But the demand was just so huge, the fans essentially forced a megacorporation to expand it to additional locations. It literally proves that when consumers speak with their wallets, even the biggest fast food giants are going to listen. Which sets the stage perfectly for our final act, Section 3, the premium upgrade and competing in a completely new market. As the fast food landscape grew super competitive, especially during the massive 2019 chicken sandwich wars sparked by rivals, the sandwich had to reach its most complex restaurant-style form. And this brilliantly illustrates the dramatic leap in quality between the two eras. The budget era relied on that thinner, straightforward patty on a standard bun. But look at the premium era.
a thicker, all-white meat premium filet nestled right into a soft potato roll and topped with tart, crinkle-cut pickles. Why a potato roll? Because it's structurally designed to hold up to thicker, juicier meat without getting all soggy. It brings a true restaurant-style feel right to the drive-thru. This shift was entirely strategic. By introducing the crispy chicken sandwich, McDonald's was aiming squarely at the growing premium market. Their philosophy here was simple, but pretty radical for them. The focus is placed on the chicken itself, allowing the texture and flavor of the filet to stand out. The thick, crisp coating of the meat finally takes center stage, rather than just acting like a vehicle for mayonnaise and lettuce. But, of course, they definitely remember the lessons from their earlier spicy iterations. People absolutely still want heat. So they created the Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich. It builds on that premium crispy platform, but here is the genius technical detail. Instead of using a seasoned patty like the budget version, they swap out the standard condiments for a spicy pepper sauce. Why? Well, because the sauce adds absolutely crucial richness and moisture to a much thicker premium filet. This drastically increases both the heat and the juiciness of the sandwich, offering a way higher intensity than the classic recipes. Let's move to and see how this builds into the ultimate final form, the Deluxe Crispy Chicken Sandwich. It's a literal step-by-step construction of premium quality. First up, that sturdy, soft potato roll. Second, the absolute star of the show, the thick, crispy, all-white meat filet. Third, the vibrant addition of fresh lettuce and bright red tomato. And fourth, bringing the whole shebang together with a smooth layer of mayonnaise. Those fresh toppings, the lettuce and tomato, are really the ultimate climax of this decades-long evolution. They create a much more layered texture and flavor profile. We have moved entirely away from a simple, budget-friendly four-ingredient staple to a genuine, authentic restaurant-style experience. Just imagine the contrast, right? The hot, savory, crispy chicken hitting the cool, refreshing bite of fresh tomato and crisp lettuce. It completely redefines what a McDonald's chicken sandwich can actually be. So the crucial point is that innovation isn't always about reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's about relentlessly refining it to meet the moment. From the straightforward, toasted bun of the 1980s McChicken to the thick, potato roll perfection of the Deluxe Crispy Chicken Sandwich, it is an incredible timeline of culinary adaptation. Which leaves me with one final question for you to think about today. Do you prefer the nostalgic, simple budget classic or the massive flavor of the premium restaurant-style upgrade? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep staying curious.